Hello, welcome to...
Sorry, I had to squeeze the part out of
If we're on now, we've just started with Cal's cock.
That's what I'm saying.
See there at an ankle, he's wearing his swimming shorts. It's got net's perished.
The net's holding strong, bro. All I'm saying is, look, you chose to look.
I didn't have a choice. I was staring at him, winking at me.
You called us earlier at the change rooms, you just stood at the doorway.
Completely naked.
Good times. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the big man himself, Jonny D, man.
D.
King of Burntwood. Fucking, yeah, man. Professor Jonny D these days as well, man. Being promoted.
I prefer doctor.
Doctor of love. Yeah, man. Fucking, yeah.
I suggest you put your
full
shades
circle.
on at home.
Yeah, full circle. Yeah, sorry about that.
I was going to say, just there might be a little bit of lens flare.
All paid for.
Mate, I'm jealous. I've got piano teeth.
Mate, look beautiful.
I'd be worried about the haircut, mate.
Can we not get that straight in? I've got the turkey.
I attacked Johnny because secretly I'm jealous of his hairline. That's the thing. I've got the Power Ranger helmet going on at the minute.
I like it, man.
Rock it, man.
Literally, as soon as I walked into the gym site, the first thing Pete was like, "You should shave your head." I was like, "Look, not even.
It's not wrong.
You're right,
Not
Cal.
wrong.
You're looking forward to training
I
tonight."
think he's got a point. I think he's good.
I think you look good, bro.
Yeah.
Shave that fucking head. Grow
And
a
you got a
beard
good
now.
beard line, man.
You've got such a good
Yeah,
beard.
but
Hairline.
No, but let me ask you a question. How long does it take you to maintain your beard, or do you? Fucking hell, you didn't need to pop them up to look at it.
More teeth that way. That's why we're wearing sunglasses. More teeth.
the real reason for the sunglasses.
And his five heads.
These are actually industrial.
It's a welding mask.
What
What was he saying there?
I don't know. We're talking
Oh, my
about your teeth.
beard. My beard.
No,
I have to have it trimmed I had it trimmed.
No,
today,
but do you go and get it trimmed?
Yeah. Every
See, this is the thing. I was bought a shaving kit, and the problem is, like, I had a goatee, and every time I every time I shaved it, I'd look in the mirror and it'd be like an inch short of that.
Don't
I'd
shave it yourself then.
I don't want to go to the barbers, mate. Like,
You don't go for your hair, do you? So you might as well go for your beard.
But it's your little.
Don't poke holes in my arm. Don't poke holes in my arm.
Mate, you got to get your beard done.
Yeah, I know.
I can't grow a beard, ladies and gentlemen. I've been trying for years, man. Fuck it.
I thought you
This
had.
is like about 4 months growth right here, mate. You see it?
Bro, that's like
it's down, man.
Yeah, but at least you look young. It's
Yeah,
like-
there is that,
Oh,
to be
if
fair.
I shave my face, I do look young, but with a beard, I look at least like. Well, I'm 40.
You look like a man. I had a child tell me today, man. Literally, I saw an old friend in the chicken shop, you know. I've been taking good care of myself.
The Perry chicken.
I was at Wingers.
It was healthy chicken.
Decent
Yeah,
wings.
Wingers. Yeah, man.
Garlic and parmesan.
Oh, bro, I had that jerk barbecue, man.
Yeah.
Top
yeah.
tier. You have to cut
It's a bit
that.
fruity. Are we going to talk about that?
You can talk. I don't know if we're allowed to talk brands.
Product placement.
just
Anyway,
put it
Wingers
down,
hit me with that
down.
sponsorship, man. I look fucking mint on you cut.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I was
Chubby
in
guys.
there. And mate, I was talking to my mate, and he's got a nice beard and that, and I was like that, and his son, I swear on my life, just went, "Daddy, why has he not got a beard, man?" I was like, "Yo, bro, come on." I was like, I know he's 4 yet, but put him in his face yet before I do.
You got a beard.
Yeah. Honestly, I was fucking triggered.
To be fair though, you got ID'd for a can of Monster the other week.
Again, mate, he was self-serve cabins.
Bro, I'm just saying.
I ain't been ID'd.
I was going to say I haven't been ID'd for a can of
Do
Monster.
you know what? I got ID'd all the way up to about 26, man. 26, 27. Yeah, man. And then I got grey. There used to be a complex about it when I was like 21, 22. Because all your mates there with the beards and that. Like, oi, oi, oi.
With the
like
beards and that.
Right, mate, you're not coming.
It's great when you're young though, but it's like, for me, I look old now.
You look older than I met yet?
No.
31. Still 40. Who's that 31-year-old man? Is he a lesbian as well? Have you talked about that when he was young?
Yeah, the lesbo fringe, bro. Oh, yes.
Emo.
Yeah.
Full on emo.
Okay. You look like a little lesbian, didn't he? We all
Yeah,
know
My
that.
Chemical Romance.
I honestly thought my first roll I got tapped by a lesbian, and then they were like, "Did that 11-year-old kid get you?" I was like, "I haven't rolled with an 11-year-old kid." They're like, "That
I rolled with a 40-year-old lesbian.
I knew they said women could beat you. You look a man child, don't you?
still am, bro.
All those years ago, man, I still remember when you bowled into the gym, mate, you little fucking like, I think it was like a...
He was a sandbag.
He sandbagged the fuck out of me, bro, man. Like, I remember I was like a two-strike white belt or something. I was a fucking shark.
You're the fucking enforcer.
You know what I mean?
He was the enforcer.
I was fucking... My missus was at uni, I was lifting, I was fucking young, virile. And I remember, like, I was killing people, man. I felt great. I was problematic in, like, the old boys, like, you had Steve, didn't you? And fucking... And I was starting to problem him, and Phil McCoy, man. I miss you, Phil, man.
Beast.
Yeah,
Beast.
and I remember, like, I was starting to cause some issues, but I weren't beating them, if you know what I mean. But I felt a man about town, you know what I mean? Like, fucking... I remember you come in with your little backpack on, your little hoodie, you had your little hat on, you're like, alright. I was like, yeah, Sam. And the coach was like, oh, do you mind, training with him for us? I was like, yeah, Sam, man. Shit, that's done. You know what I mean? Like, I put it on him for the first one, and then he like electric chaired the shit out of me, and fucking, I didn't even know what that was at the time, man. I was like, damn it to my groin.
I just read the Eddie Bravo book, that's all I've done.
Yeah, it's all he'd done, yeah. Not like he took silver at the Nogi or British.
That's probably my highest ever win.
We'll just keep amping it up as the years go.
I think it was the 80s season.
You only won the IBF World Championship.
I'm not going to lie, the first time I rolled with you, I think I was like 16,
I
something
think
like
you were younger than that.
You were younger, kid.
However young I was, I actually hated you when I first met you. No,
I thought you did.
No, but we love each other now.
You used to tell me when I dropped into his mum's like, I hate Charlie, he's such a bitch.
Why does he hurt more?
It weren't even the groin, it's just I remember being like, oh, I'm pretty fucking good at this.
You are.
And then like, but like, you put me in a darce, and I remember specifically being like, there's no way he's going to tap me. This random dude who just walked into the gym is going to tap me with his fucking long sleeve Manto rash guard.
Yes.
And then he just fucking darsed the shit out of me, and I just remember being afterwards just like mentally destroyed. I was just like, I can't believe he's done that to me.
Good times, man.
And when you hit me with the double as well.
Yeah,
again, and that's that one when you're like, so what have you done? You said you've done a bit, but what have you done?
Did a bit of ninjutsu. Actually, I'll say that. I'll give all that to Dan Corbley.
Yeah,
I have to mention him because
Savage.
he was my first. Yeah. Well, I had a coach before Dan, but Dan took over the gym, and he was just like, again, if he ever is this, I don't know if he will. But he was another child. Well, between us four, he was like, again, he looked like he was a child when I first met him. He was like, I don't know, 5'5".
He still looks pretty young.
He still looks young. He said to me the other week, I said, you still look young, you do? He goes, I look young, but if I was looking through a letterbox, you'd see the wrinkles. I look like an old man through a letterbox. But yeah, and he took over the gym, so then I did all my MMA stuff with him. So yeah, I did have some slip. And I always say, it's like a different style, man.
Mate.
Because I was from MMA.
It is different.
And we get the MMA lads over here, don't we? Sometimes like Mikey and Lewis and that.
Mikey.
Lewis tapped me.
Lewis is a little savage as well, man.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't tap me, they did that bit.
Yeah. Leave out that bit.
He wouldn't tap me.
He's a black belt.
I think the thing that really threw us off about rolling with you the first time you came to Tamworth was we were such a gi predominant gym, and obviously our no gi stuff was pretty much gi stuff in no gi, and then you came in and it's like I had never seen a darce until you choked me with it. That's why afterwards I was so pissed off because I was like, I have no idea what this motherfucker's just done.
Stew bars, that is darce bars we used to call him.
Darce bars.
But he was a good grappler, but he had the tightest guillotine ever and the tightest darce. So anytime he used to darce the life out of me, and I was just saying, how did you get that one? That's how I knew, like, when the Islam thing happened the weekend, and everyone's texting going, how does he do that from that angle? I'm like, it's just a short arm darce. It's the same thing, like, basically, it's not to there, it's to here, with your palm down, and then I was calling it bagpiping, but you crush your elbow into the head goes in. It's not a Japanese necktie, it's just crushing the head in. And like, I saw that, and everyone's like, well, how did you do that? So I taught it the other night. And that's literally from a guy I met, it's probably 20 years ago. And he's still fighting, He's like
MMA?
55, no, boxing. He looks like an English bull terrier. He's like Phil. He walks around, you'd see him in a pub and you'd be like, I'm not even going to catch eye contact with this guy. Just these old guys that look like they're, I don't know, man, warriors, like they're in 300 and shit.
It's not enough around anymore, I don't think, to be honest. I think like that's a dying generation, isn't it?
We're the last of them.
This is it, isn't it, man? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like even the new wave of grapplers that are coming through now, it just seems different. Like, I don't know, it's very, very different. And nothing wrong with it, like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's...
Different how?
Different how? Tweaks.
They're all really
What happens to the heavyweights? No.
They're all, see, everyone in jiu-jitsu now, like, you'll get like blues and purples, and they all seem like the kids, oh, that sounds terrible now, the kids you would have picked on at school.
Yeah.
Not that I would ever pick on anyone,
yeah.
but like, almost nerdy.
Yeah.
And it's because, it's basically, like I've always said this, it's basically a computer game, isn't it? But you do it with your body, you get continue, and you crack on. Like. And that's what must entice these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Elon bloody Musk, he's like, not Elon Musk, but still
Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah.
And he's on the Rogan podcast, he's got a big thick neck and that now. And
Mikey
he's
Musashi, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pronounce that right, we all know
Musashi.
names. Mikey Musashi, is that?
Look how old in his call.
Mikey, anyway, no Mike. Him, man, like, he's the ultimate nerd, isn't he? But my God, can that guy kill, man? You know what I mean, man? Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Like,
But fun to watch that, isn't it?
yeah. But then, fucking, we were on about earlier, fucking, he just competed. He hasn't competed in a while.
Oh, Marcelo.
He's another one that's an unsuspecting dude, isn't it?
Gomes,
You know what I mean? Like,
genuinely my hero.
Literally, I'd say
Like,
that.
yeah, he's by far the most inspirational grappler, I think, for our
Not that
generation,
Marcelo will ever watch this, but if someone passes this message on to him, I came to New York once to train with you.
He's banging on that.
And you weren't there.
Let it go!
Coming back, and he was like, how'd you get on with Marcelo? You know, and he's like, they weren't there. I remember, it's same Lewis went there as well, but Lewis was like, I was talking about this the other day, and he hadn't even trained at this point, I think he was a one stripe, and he went to New York for his mate's wedding, and he went and trained there, and I was so fucking jealous.
No.
But he brought me a t-shirt back. So
Oh, bro. I've still got the rash guard knocking about.
Are you wearing that logo?
Bro,
You
you know what? No, that was like a trend like ages ago where literally everyone in jiu-jitsu, where everyone in jiu-jitsu just
put the B-size band over it. Just loosely hovering.
No, but everyone would go to Marcelo's and the thing to do would be like train there, get a rash guard. Like I can't think of any other gym really that you go to now. Like I specifically want to buy their merch. Kind of. I mean B Team, I guess, but it's like it's not as iconic as Marcelo's.
That MG
stuff, the 4 times world champion stuff on the back, those little accolades, and you're like.
To go.
I need to be careful with that rash guard. It might be worth something one day.
I've got a signed Conor McGregor glove. I wonder what
Yeah. Well, it depends really with that. Things are going at the minute.
Let's see what happens. It might end up like a Rolf Harris bag.
You say that? Did you not see him promoting BKFC the other night?
What, in the background?
Isn't he like one of the main sponsors?
Yeah, he's like I'm pretty sure he's purchased spot, but he's like doing all the promotion for it.
But hasn't what's his face dropped in the whiskey brand and that proper 12? They dropped in, didn't they?
Yeah, but I mean, someone's gonna make money somehow.
He was on a computer game, wasn't he?
Hitman.
Yeah,
he was in the Hitman thing.
All of a sudden they like pulled him from the game.
Is it? Oh,
rightfully so, man. You can't go around doing that.
Yeah.
If he did it, I don't know, man. You hear them show notes and.
It is tough, isn't it? Like, because you know that there's so many women out there, man, like fucking that are game for it, and then they know they can make money about it after, man. Look at Kate Price; she made a whole fucking career out of that, didn't she? You know what I mean? Pamela Anderson, as much as she was like a movie star, you've seen Barbed Wire. She wasn't a fucking movie star, like, you know what I mean? She was a hoe. It sounds mean, but like,
the technical term is a hoe.
She made her money. Fair play, boo. You know what I mean? Like, but fucking. You can't be then like, oh, it's wrong. You know what I mean? It's like, that's, you're doing it on purpose. You're going out there for that.
To this day, I nearly a lot. What can we actually say? But I heard the court notes, and it was like she was there, and she was doing all types of drugs, all of that sort of stuff. And then she went away with the other lad, and then she went back to have sex with him. And you're like, if you've been, I've never been, you know. Hard. You can't say the word, can you now?
What, raped or hard?
Sorry, I thought you said I've never been hard. I was like, bro.
I was going to think that's
why do you think we saw it?
Little one-eyed milkman was done. He's had to do his rounds with it.
The only reason we do the podcast so I can point you.
But yeah. He's on a downward, that guy. Whatever happened in that, that guy is on a downward
I
spiral.
think he
man.
just needs to fucking chill out and sniff, man.
Yeah,
like, he's
yeah.
clearly like getting part. And fair play, man. We've all been there. It's fun. You know what I mean, man?
Yeah,
You
I
need to.
haven't.
Yeah. Me either, man. I'm a clean living individual. But yeah, man. I feel like he's just took it to the limit, any man. And it's hard to tell. Is it a character like Kobe? You know what I mean? Like he plays that bad guy character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or is
Or
it
is it
actually him?
genuinely him?
It's hard to tell, isn't it? And like I say, man, there's a lot of people out there that try and make money off of other people's success, don't they? Like, you know what I mean? It's very common, man.
But I think the thing is, when you're that rich, like people are probably just gonna like facilitate what you want to do.
Well, that's
because
the
if you say no to Conor McGregor, it's like you're not invited to the yacht party.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna buy you
yeah.
this Rolex. I'm not. Yeah, all of a sudden it's like, go fuck yourself. To be fair, do you remember when he had like a high pitched voice and then over time it's like, hey,
That's the growth hormone.
It's called steroids.
Human growth hormone. His face looks completely different.
He looks
I saw
different,
something
he's all
like, yeah. I mean, he's actually, he's always been a bit stacked, hasn't he? But all of a sudden,
Where would he come through though? Was it when you look at his early days? He was
lean
thin, man,
and
really lean
yeah.
and fucking. You know
I
what I
must
mean?
admit,
Now he's different.
when he was in Cage Warriors, I used to watch all the, because I was well into the MMA.
You were obsessed with it.
To be fair, now, I watch the odd one now, but back then I was watching all the independent.
time.
I didn't have 15 jobs. I was watching all the Cage Warriors and I used to love Cage Warriors. So I'd watch Paddy, and all the lads went and trained with Paddy when I was training up there at Dance Gym. What's it?
Paddy
Pimbleton, Pimblet.
Pimblet.
So, yeah, so shit,
guys.
I agreed. Yeah, Paddy Pimbleton.
Got it.
So, like, I was watching Conor come through, and he fought a guy called Dave Hill. And I remember when he fought Dave Hill, and Dave Hill was class. He was awesome grappler, and he submitted Dave Hill, and I was like, that guy will be a UFC champion.
Did you see recently, Paddy? When he went up to that, the Irish dude was his gym.
Yeah.
Hilarious, man. I love the fact that he said though, didn't he, man? He was like, fucking, I ain't gonna let go though, some shit
No
like
taps,
that.
they
Like,
agreed,
no
no
taps,
taps.
yeah. And then he
Fair play
freaked
to
out
him.
and he was just like, nope.
Fair play to the other guy.
No.
He put out, didn't he, and said, everyone's having a go at Paddy. We agreed, no tap.
Yeah.
He showed me
Fair
how
play
to
to
do
him.
it.
I got no hate,
Yeah.
And like, to be fair to him, like he said, man, he went like, you know, I'm early in this game, you know what I mean? Like, I still had a go though.
thing-
You know what
the
I mean?
thing
So
is
you've got to
though-
give him props to that.
the thing
like,
is though, you think
then
about
what
it.
is his name? Like, he goes under Menace something, Menace MMA.
Frimpleton or something.
Frimpleton or something.
Fred. I think it's Freddie or Frankie Frimpleton.
Yeah.
Frimpleton.
He's Irish dude.
Yeah.
Irish.
Yeah.
But the thing, you got to think of it though. Even though
Yeah,
he's
like
lost,
it.
even though he's
Yeah.
lost, he's kind of won because
Look
no
at
one
fans,
would
look
have
at the
known who
attention.
the fuck he.
Yeah.
Better to get choked out by Paddy Pimblett because I mean, fucking Alex Pereira came in after knocking out Izzy and stuff like that, got himself all the way to a title. That's a story built in before he's even got to the UFC.
Yeah.
I mean,
And a lot of it is that now, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's building a story.
Well,
Can you imagine that
they're
guy
owned
does
by
get to the
WWE.
UFC now?
Yeah.
He's going to want that fight, isn't he?
No,
You
but
know
they're
what I
owned
mean?
by the WWE, aren't they? Or
Yeah,
they're in
yeah,
partnership.
they've been
with,
for a while, like sufferers.
Of course, they're going to be creating they're going to be creating storylines in the background and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, fucking, did you see Arman Sarukian fucking injured his back?
He
the day
didn't make weight.
No.
100%.
Well, but did you see the video a few weeks before
Oh, no.
where he was eating pasta with like
Mexican
onions on it
meat.
and stuff like that?
He
And you're like,
didn't make weight.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, like, there was nothing to do with his back. I think he didn't make weight because you seen Dana talking about it after.
And he was
pissed off, man. He was the old school big troop Dana. He'll have to have a few more fights. And inside he's thinking, that fucking prick.
Yeah, he's gonna. I reckon he'll stall his career a bit now.
Yeah,
for
big
that.
time.
Like,
I feel
fuck with me,
bad.
I'll fuck with you in the mentality.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Money Moicano though, because I love,
he's
like,
bad.
I love Money
He's got a good
Moicano.
mouth,
Yeah,
isn't he?
and it's just like the fact that he gets a title shot under such. I mean, Islam's a tall task
Yeah.
on any day, but on like on a day.
as well though, man, and the training and the. Look, did you see when he got asked like, oh, you've had a new child? I was like, yes, I see a couple times.
Yeah.
In Russia, it's normal. We don't see our kids.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think so, buddy. but yeah, man, that's a level of commitment there. I ran my training back when I had kids, you know what I mean? Like, to have that level of commitment, to be like, I'm going to forgo being a part of my kid's life to chase. That's what it takes to be the best, though, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean?
But then you think for someone in his like situation, his kids are set up.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, to be fair, now though, dude, it sounds mad, but he could retire now.
No,
He'd be set for life.
easily,
You run gyms, you train the next generation. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, nowadays I feel like in the pro MMA world especially, there's like a lot more pathways for the fighters and they're after they retire. Like the UFC give them jobs now, commentators, like the little side shows, podcasts, Fucking, whereas back in the day though, like you think about it really, like they just got spat out, didn't they? Like their career was done, it was like, see you later. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, it was like when Chuck Liddell
and
was it Chuck Liddell and Forrest Griffin who worked for the UFC, and then when
Matt Hughes as well.
Matt Hughes, and then I don't think it was Forrest Griffin, Matt Hughes, Chuck Liddell, and then they got taken over by another company. And then literally the other company was like, yeah, we're downsizing. Goodbye, Chuck. Goodbye, man. Literally just fucked them off, and it's just like,
we're making a PI in Mexico.
Yeah, we're making a performance institute, and then it's like, Chuck, you go fight Tito at 55 years old. It'll be fine.
That was the saddest fight ever.
Bro.
Oh,
I hate all of those fights though. When Shogun Rua came out his last day, and I was like, bro, man, like, all of those greats, man. And then it's just they didn't make enough money. You know what I mean?
I find it crazy though that people like that aren't just like, especially just go and do seminars or just like guest spots. It's like I don't.
But again though, do you not feel like that's something that's took off over the last few years?
What, like seminars?
There was no instructionals or seminars. We were coming
like, I'm about to say, we talked about this before. Whereas now, like, you can literally watch a million Instagram videos or YouTube videos, whereas when we came through, it was what your coach showed you. And it was all very, like, closed doors, like, when we do a rear naked choke, we do it like this with the back of the hand instead of putting the hand like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like,
don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone.
You know what I mean? Like, it was fucking
I still do that. But it's a quiet class. I go, don't tell anyone. Everyone else then say, when did you learn that? I go, Wednesday. Should have trained. But like, I think that's why, like, you know, because we didn't have all them other avenues to watch stuff, we've all got, all of us that trained at the original gym, half guard. Every single one of us has got a good half guard. And a good half guard passing, good half guard, which I've developed into my leg lock game, single leg X, my X. And like, all of that is literally from that first gym. And then from before, the footlocks was from before that.
And I think, to be honest, like, for me as well, now, I force half. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, if I'm on bottom, like, I think I did it on you earlier, or somebody, like, I took guard, and then immediately I, like, exploded out, and then came back in for half guard, so I was like, no, on guard. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just can't play it. Like, whereas, like, I don't know, man, even when, like, I'm standing, and somebody pulls on me or something like that, I'll purposely get it into half, like, on purpose, so it's just like mint.
Very comfortable there, with the knee shield and everything.
Like, I'll put it in, lad, you know what I mean?
I think the thing is, though, the half guard as well, it's one of the most versatile guards you can play. At any age, any level of like mobility, and because I mean, fucking when I see people play butterfly sometimes, or some of these like reverse delahevas and stuff, like, I'm just saying, I'm like, it just seems like so like, especially when you see people's knees like buried into their face, but it's like half guard. You get that, you can wrestle up, you can do your sweeps, you're pretty there's pretty low risk of injury.
You can pick your pace, can't you?
You can really stall out a game. And that sounds bad. You don't want to do that, you want to be active, but sometimes you are a bit tired. And that's why people take the piss and say, it's an
I find it's a good place to frustrate. Like, I can frustrate somebody into making a mistake. It's bang them up then. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, I've always looked at, but like, we come from a half guard background. Our first coaching, like, pure jiu-jitsu for you. For me, grappling full stop, like, for you, grappling full stop, like, you know what I mean? And fantastic coach, can't knock him, you know, he was amazing. I mean, you know, it's a shame things didn't work out long term. You know, I'd still love to sit down and have a coffee with him and chat with him, man. I see him about sometimes, I go to say hello, he don't want to, but you know what I mean, it is what it is.
I saw him at a comp, we had a chat, and it was alright, like. But that's life, I'm sure it'll happen here. I'm sure, like, you know, I'm going to have students that are with me now, and down the line they'll do their own thing. And I think, as long as people are training, it don't really matter.
You know, I think the difference is,
these weird ass
I don't think you will have those issues, mate, because if somebody says to you, I'm going to go do a session down there, you're like, yeah, cool, man.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
Try it anywhere.
And then you go other places as well, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a community spirit.
I think a lot of the issues, especially like the older generation, so like they've got to be the best, or they've got to be like. There's people I train with, like, who I'll tap and who I'll submit and stuff like that. But I still respect their level, and I'll still ask them questions, because they'll be.
Doesn't ask me questions. Smash up and walks off.
I think you discuss.
Who's he asking questions?
Not these guys.
He doesn't tap us like ever.
Oh, that's it.
But
I mean, the little lady.
let me just set the record straight. A typical roll between me and Pete is about 5 minutes of Pete talking absolute shit to me. Like, we got the footage tonight. Like, I'll be there, like, trying really hard for a submission, and Pete's just like, fuck you, bitch. And then afterwards, he'll be like, oh, fucking hell, that was tiring, wasn't it?
He gasses himself
He gasses himself from talking too much.
I think it's because you were lying on my diaphragm. Like, you were talking shit the whole time.
I didn't stop to take a breath. It's like the Oh, man.
Oh, man.
But yeah, what you say there, like, it's true. Like, I was with Jack the other night, and I was just getting him to put me in a footlock, because obviously I've got this match coming up, and that's everyone loves footlocks than they at the minute. So I need to make sure that I'm on point with my footlocks. And I was getting him to just hold the footlock, and he was slipping in and out of these footlocks. And I was asking him questions. He's a white belt. Well, he's a good white belt.
I'd say, yeah.
He's a good white belt,
you
know. We'll see.
Trains religiously, has privates religiously.
Yeah,
his private coach is a bit whack. But, you know what I mean? Like,
He's a punk.
Bro, you know what though? Like when me and Jack started like doing private tuition together, what was like literally from day one, I just said to him, I was like, look, for the first year and a half, it's gonna suck, and you're probably gonna suck, because you're going to be starting it, like, because literally I said to him from day one, I want you starting in all the worst positions.
Some of my friends are assholes.
And all my friends are assholes. Literally, from day one, he was just like, yeah. And I'd watch him in the gym, and he would literally pull side control, and he'd spend the entire session getting back to half guard. Bear in mind, right now he's like 105, 110 kilos, something around that. But for a heavier guy who's willing to play, because you see it with a lot of heavier guys. There's that little bit of ego where it's like, oh fuck, I can't afford to.
I was impressed watching.
And he can wrestle.
Like,
he can wrestle, but he chooses to play guard.
When he was rolling tonight, he was trying, instead of just like, like it was pure sparring tonight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of people, myself included, will play the raid game. You know what I mean? Like, I tried some new stuff, don't get me wrong, throw a bit of stuff in, whatever. But when I was watching him, he wasn't like he was mad. He's playful still. Like, he was going with Liam, who ain't been training that long, you know what I mean? He's a tough dude. Turns out he's a fucking farmer.
We found
out. You know what I mean? Like, I've been working at a farm since I was a child, you little fucker.
Yeah. That's
true sandbagging. Yeah.
Strongest way ever.
I'm like 6'2", 6'3", and I worked at a farm.
90 kilos.
I was like, 90 kilos. I was like, is there any fat on you? He was like, no, not really. Fucker.
He was quite honest about that.
Yeah,
not really.
Yeah, not really.
Not really. Abs.
Cheers, yeah, great.
Abs on my back.
But instead of like, if you'd expect him to play his A game with him, like, you know what I mean? But he wasn't. He was playful still. And then, and Liam was doing really well. He was taking his back. He was putting him in chokes. And he was just, I don't know, man. I was just impressed to see, instead of him being like, oh, moody because this guy's not been training as long as catching him and stuff, because he was being playful and trying stuff. He was just laughing, joking about it, and carried on. I think that is why he's going to get good. That is why he's going to get good.
I'm not going to lie, my favourite thing is sometimes we'll have like higher belts pop down to the gym. And like, they'll go, and obviously like, because it's no-gi, you can't really tell anyone's level until they're over. And the amount of times I've taught a class or I've been in a class and I'm sparring, and obviously just sort of surveying around, I'll look around and some higher belt has got Jack in like a guillotine and a rear naked choke, and he's just there like red in the face. He's like, chokes aren't real, bro. But you see these like higher belts from other gyms and they're like, you what?
I had him in a full guillotine, yeah. He rolled over, so flattened himself out. I went full rock hold on Bisping guillotine. His forehead was in his hip. And it's fully like crunched in as hard as I could guillotine anyone. Hand in the mat. I got some. And I was giving him some of this. And he was just going, what did you just say?
Jokes aren't real.
Jokes aren't real, that's what he said.
Yeah. Somebody was shouting it when I was going to earlier, man.
It was very real. The motto.
Yeah, you got it.
I like to think I softened him up before. No, but the motto we've come up with are chokes aren't real, but neck cranks are forever. So
he always says that. Oh, that was a crank, not a choke.
The thing is, I have to crank him though, because like if I don't,
if I crank everyone, you little shit, man. You crank the shit out of me tonight.
The thing, the thing is, I haven't got arms like John, so for me it's just I have to manipulate.
It's the way you put the head under your chest sort of thing, man, and then you start shouting.
Hold on. My favourite thing, and it's bullshit, but it's just I'll be in half guard and I get that. But if they're lying on their side as well,
it only sucks.
That, like,
yeah.
I don't even know where I learned that. I think it was
prison, but the look of it.
I'm going to start rolling in a do-rag and a white
wearing shorts down. Young lad.
Get some white socks.
Yes, a basketball short.
Half god black.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, my jiu-jitsu's gotten a lot cruder as time.
Yeah, your jiu-jitsu's got kind of right evolution, hasn't it? Because like when
you know what it was though, having the 2 MMA fights.
Yeah.
I had to get punched in the face. Do you know what? I remember seeing something once goes, yeah, you're a black belt, yeah, you get punched in the head, now you're a brown belt, then you get punched again, now you're a purple belt. I watched that happen. Caliban see 3 of the dude, I don't think he was taking down the right person.
The maddest thing with that match.
He won though.
The maddest thing with that match, I already knew the result, but I was still scared for Callum. Callum might lose this match. I know he's won. But the way this is going,
I want to give a big shout out to Shinnikus behind the camera because he actually went to the weigh-ins with me. I remember going there and the whole time. I'm not joking. So I'm sat with Jim.
He's the most chill guy ever.
Yeah. No, but I'm sat with Jim. I see the guy and I go to Jim. I'm like, does that guy look huge to you? Jim's like, no, man, he's not. I'm like, fucking no, bro. We do the weigh-in, and as we're driving back, I'm like, oh fuck, man, like they're fucked.
I think I'm finding jerseys.
No, Alex calls Jim. He's like, oh, I've just seen that Callum's weighed in, and he's like, is Callum in the car? And Jim's like, yeah. Hangs up. And then we're just sort of sat there and I'm like, oh shit, man. Oh fuck, man. And then Alex calls about 5 minutes later, he's like, is Callum still in the car? And I was like, Alex, if you want to tell me that I'm fucked, you can tell me fucking it was somewhat along those lines. But I remember like warming up, doing the whole thing. I was terrified, and I remember being stood outside. They told me I was going in.
Yeah.
But then he came out first. I was stood there in my shorts, freezing cold, watched him come in, the lights bouncing off his abs. And I would go,
When he came out, man, I was like, shit. Because he looked big at the weigh-ins, bro. But even the commentary, if you watch the fight back, they talk about, Jesus, that's a big middleweight, man. Yeah. He dehydrated the life out of himself to make weight.
I'm pretty sure it broke both of his arms.
Yeah.
I think he did the Homer Simpson on him, he broke his will.
We knew, mate, when
I didn't hear no bell. Hey, Xerxes!
It was for me, bro. It was when, like, you got caught to your corner and you were like walking, stumbling all over. Like you concussed. You know, some heavy hammy fists, man, from like when you pull guard in an MMA fight. And then like he went to his corner, man, and he just flopped on the floor, man.
You know
and
what?
Then everybody was like, he's done. He's fucking done.
You know what? When I turned around and saw him on the ground, I was like, I've won.
Yeah,
Like I had to eat some shots, and I remember the thing was like I said to you, didn't I? Like I remember looking at him, and I was like. Because I did a shot and it was terrible, but all I remember is there being 3 of him. And I was like, well, if I shoot in his general direction, I'm going to grab one of them.
Yeah. The joys of MMA guys, man. You know what I mean? You all think it's cool.
You know what?
Until you're in your pants in the cage.
Pisses off though.
Fucking hell.
There's a bit in the fight where I invert underneath him.
Right.
But they said like the ref was like, no heel hooks. I was like, I didn't even go for a heel hook. I'm trying to attack his. I'm trying to survive. I'm just a chill,
Who said that?
I'm just a chill guy who likes to pull guard.
Heel hook. Bro, I'm gonna say though, you've got some class photos, mainly in the gear, won't lie, man, when you've competed on like high levels and stuff like that. But the best photo I think in your sporting career will be that picture of you armbarring and screaming at the same time.
Oh yeah,
that picture.
I'll so
iconic, man. Like, yeah, man, that's fucking that'll be the one, mate, when you're old. And like, yeah, I thought Xerxes.
We'll get
the God Killers.
Bro, you know what the hilarious part was? I was that concussed. So before the fight, I said to Pete, I was like, oh, when I win, throw a dime bar in the cage. And I remember,
and I'm
stumbling around, and the ref comes up to me with a dime bar, and I was like, what the fuck's that? And he went, your mate just threw it in the cage. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I got you. I think you threw up shortly after. But
your record was what, 2-0?
2-0.
I followed you. See, I followed your suit. I did 2-0 and then I retired. Yeah, 2-0.
Yeah,
2-0, man.
Well, I did loads of amateur, like back in the day, like way back in the day. There was something called, you won't have even heard of this. This is how old it is. Combat Sports Trials, it was called. And that was like ridiculous rule set. It was like full MMA. You could heel hook, you could toe hold, you could do everything, but you could only punch below the neck. So you go in and Kyokushin karate match, you start in your chest and shit, like leg.
What? Could you only kick to the body then?
You couldn't do anything on the head. You could Muay Thai clinch, knee. Ollie Geddes won it about 8 times in a row. He was just pulling half guard on everyone and just.
Yeah.
And I did a couple of.
I was like, where was this?
Honestly, if someone's got.
I got hammer fist being lots in my fight, all to the face.
If
I mean, when you've got a melon like that, it is difficult to miss. To be fair, it's a disadvantage.
Bro, I actually think I got smarter after that fight.
Sorry, John.
I think if someone's got the capability to do that again, they should start that again. Because it was such a good
way to bring people through.
Yeah. That's what I did. So I did loads of them. Well, a few of them. Oh shit, I got battered in them all. And then in the end, Dan goes to me, do you want to do a semi-pro? And you hear semi-pro and you think pro. Like, and all it means is it's a different rule set. It's like the same as
punched in the bog.
everything except elbows. Yeah. Like now, I don't think you can knee in the head now and head kick. I don't think you can. But back then you could. You could clinch in the head. And I'll be honest. There was 2 things I was scared of when I fought. Number 1 was getting tired. That's always the scariest. That's the only thing I was really scared of. The other thing was getting with someone that had a good Muay Thai clinch and they knee me in the face and I'm just like, I don't know what to do here. Luckily that didn't happen.
Well, that happened in your
I fought K1 and this is when you know you've got a shit coach here. You turn up there and you're like, oh yeah, you're weighing, yeah, cool man, yeah, we're gonna match you up with something. Like, yeah, sound man. And I've been training 3 months, twice a week. You know what I mean? Real bad man. Had a few knocks in town, you know what I mean? Like fucking. And I remember they came up to me, was like, oh, you've not matched up against anyone, man. But there is another guy that's not matched up against anyone. And I was like, yeah, Tom man. And he was like, and then this went, and my coach was like, yeah, no, it'll be fine, he'll do it. And I was like, cool man. Yeah, it's Thai rules though. And I was just like, Thai rules? I've done K1, what's Thai rules? And he was like, oh, they can clinch as well. And I was like, okay, so you'll be fine. I was not fine. I got taught how to defend the clinched getting kneed in the face, in the fight. Somebody from the crowd was shouting, put your shin across his legs, put your shin across his legs, while I was getting kneed in the fucking face, man. Like, honestly. He did not react, but my God, he battered the shit out of me. It turned out, man, he'd had 3 pro fights, man. And he was warming up, he was fighting at the NEC, man. Like, some pikey dude, man. I remember that, he was like an Irish kid.
Mate, the coach is
his mates were in the corner sniggering, and I was there like, what? Cut me, coach! I was like, battered and like, honestly, But then to be fair to him, he came over to me afterwards and went, mate, you've got some balls, man. Like, you were just like, kept coming forward, and I was like, fucking nailing you, you know what I mean? Like, and he went, I've got to ask, man, how long have you been training? And I was like, a few months, and he went, you shouldn't have thought being here then, really.
But didn't he say, like, how often he every class?
Yeah, every class.
And he was like, well, how often's that? And you're like, well, once a week in sports hall. And he was like, well, I'm training every class, that's 6 days a week.
Yeah, basically, exactly that dude, So when the paramedic was looking at me, and I was there like, I don't think I'm meant for this. Oh man, I got a whooping. But it was fun, I enjoyed the experience. But that though, got me to start jiu-jitsu. Purely not because I got battered and like I've been battered my whole life, man. I'm used to that shit. But like my mom's was pretty brother But I wanted to do something because he said full time, and at the time in Tamworth there was no Immortal MMA. There was no full time academy or anything you could train at. You just had boxercise effectively. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know that at the time because obviously I'd watched a bit of UFC in it, and one of my pals remember me phoning me up, man, and being like, fucking, oh, do you know that fucking gay wrestling stuff they do on the UFC? There's a place around here that does it if you fancy it. And I was like, yeah, why not, man?
What a sales pitch.
I know, yeah. Got me like that. Says something about my character more than anything. That gay wrestling stuff.
Hold on,
yeah,
what did you say, Gret?
I'm in.
Wrestling.
And that was only, like, this is what's mad. That was only 3 times a week at the time, before it changed brand and obviously went full time.
And the kickboxing, right?
It was when we were, the kickboxing
That's
academy.
where I started.
That's where I met you.
Bro, points kickboxing.
Yeah.
Bro, I tell you what, if you want to do a frustrating striking sport, points kickboxing, where the fight ends as soon as it starts.
Yeah. Machine gun kick.
No, it was when you'd be there and they'd do this with their foot. And then they're like, point, and you're like,
Do you know what I find maddest about that, bros? I remember, man, you're fucking, sorry, I'm getting a bit deep now, but I remember your dad being like, oh, you want to do jiu-jitsu, you fucking buffer? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
bro, funny.
Over touch kickboxing.
You know what's actually,
getting your head ripped off by some old,
all
big Polish dudes and shit.
You know what's actually funny though? I actually nearly broke my dad's arm with an arm bar.
Yeah.
Because basically he was like, basically he was just like, oh, jiu-jitsu is fucking gay. And my mum was like, I'll give it a try. And then he put him in clothes guard, threw up an arm bar. Oh!
Threw up an arm bar.
And my mum just in the kitchen's like, told you.
Mate, I will say this, your mum is a darling, man. She has supported you through so much with this sport and that, like really. How much you competed and travelled.
There's a video somewhere of me competing at Naga, and I always love it. You know, like some people's parents when they're there and they're like on the sides, like, kill him! My mum was like a phantom. There's a video, right, I'm competing, it's like 2 minutes in, it's really intense, and I'm not joking. You just see the crowd part, and she just comes through.
She's not even walking.
No, she's not. You know, like the generic white music video where it comes up like that. She just looks into camera. I win the fight, and then you blink and she's gone. And I didn't even know she was in the building. Like she just appears.
I think I remember my time when you competed at the British Open, man, I think, and remember you Luke choked that kid out cold, man. I think
I
was
an orange belt.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. And I was like that, fuck yeah, Callum! And everybody was like, it's a child!
Bro, if you listen...
The worst thing was though, is Callum didn't give a fuck. This kid was literally like, dead on the floor. Callum just
stand up and tie his belt.
Tie his belt, make sure he looked good for the photo.
Bro, the best bit about that is, if you listen closely, you can hear Gordon going, that's it, Callum!
Yeah,
that's it!
Gordon!
Yeah,
that's who we need to talk about.
Do what you do to me! Do what you do to me!
Gordon, man. I wonder what he's doing now.
Legend says he's roaming Aviston.
I bet he's still
a
fucking
moved to Lincoln.
savage, man.
Did he?
Now the baddest man in Lincoln, I'm guessing, like.
That guy, that's... I'll rewind his house, I did. He bought like a guest house. And I was speaking to his missus, because I had all these stories about him winning the Aviston ball game, all of these different things.
And if you don't know what that is, Google it, man.
Google it, like, it's the most stupid thing I've ever seen, but he won it, basically. And she was telling me, like a couple of times. She was looking out the back window and he's walking across the field with a ball under his arm, blood all that. She goes, I won it, love. And then she told me a story. I don't know how true this is, but she told me this story, right? He was up doing something on the chimney, like, I don't know,
I think
pointing.
I know this story.
And he fell back, no helmet on, right? So we're talking 5 metres up, and he fell down, all the way down, and she said he landed on his head, and just went bang, landed on his back, and he just went, oh.
He actually told me that story.
Yeah, she told me like truth.
I swear somebody told me they once saw him dangling something out the window by the ankle.
Oh, he was the Shug Knight of Exton.
He was a bad man, I remember that.
No, do you
know what's mad? He was a lovely dude, apart from one time, man. One of my pals, man, is called Ad Rollison, and his son was also called that. Yeah. And I remember him saying, like, oh yeah, my son Adam, and I was like, oh, like Adam, like, I went, oh no way, man, that's one of my mates. And he just went, what the fuck are you doing messing with my kid? And I was just like, honestly, he turned like that, man, and I saw that Gordon for a split second. And I was like, he's like 19, 20, he's like, oh, it's not my son. He's back to normal Gordon again, man. But honestly, for a split second, I was like, oh my God, man. Like,
now you gotta watch these old boys.
Terrifying.
They're different to our generation.
I remember he used to purposely fucking sandpaper your face off with his stubbly head. And
double-legged
bleed.
yeah, no,
fucking.
when he double-legged Pete through the wall, and the best
Like clean through a
double-legged
partition.
Yeah.
double-legged
Legs dangling out.
and kept pushing.
Still trying to pass on, still trying to get round. Didn't let me get out. And this with Dave, I think he was, well, whoever the fucking was there was like, oi, let him go, let him out the wall.
What did he call him?
Hollison. Come on, Hollison.
That's enough.
Yeah.
I'll be honest though,
That's enough.
Damn, he's had enough.
people used to complain about Gordon because obviously he's like, he was very strong and stuff. But what people don't realise, especially looking in retrospect, Gordon was ahead of the game. Because of all the people in our gym, he would be on top passing, drop back for a footlock.
Every time.
Every motherfucking time.
He'd snap your
Oh,
leg.
bro, you say a straight foot lock.
It was a shin lock.
Sometimes
Yeah,
you can't hear, man. It's like, feel the whole bone
and you
flex.
know what the worst thing was? It wasn't like one of these ones you see in a competition where it's like,
wasn't
blink,
clean.
blink and you miss it. You saw it. You saw it coming.
Right down the line.
He'd be on your back and he'd start going. Well, I'll put him to sleep. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
I put him to sleep.
Yeah, I do.
I did a clock joke on him, and I'd never tapped Gord. Gord was like.
That was he set my level, didn't it?
Oh, he was the
He set the bar quite high.
He was like Masters number 2 in the world.
He was old as fuck, man, but he was made of iron, man.
So I got him in one of yours. It was like a loop choke, and I got him in this loop choke, and he passed my guard. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna. You know what it's like?
Yeah.
When I was like a blue belt.
It means a lot, don't it? Yeah.
I got him in this loop choke. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get good.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he went. I went, whoa, and he was like fully asleep, like going. And I was like, I fucking killed someone. I lifted his legs, I lifted his legs. And he woke up and he went, and it's just the old GB days where he didn't have music on in the class or all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's completely silent, everyone's like rolling and stuff, and I'm just here with a corpse. And I lifted his legs up and he wakes up and he goes, Johnny, have you put that music on? I said, God, there's no music on. And then at the end of the class, like, you'll shake hands and that. Yeah. And he put his arm around and he goes, you know what, Johnny? Be a nice way to go, that. Badass, man. What a legend,
There's when I put Conley out, man. The same choke, loop choke, man. It's a dangerous one,
so
man.
it's when you pass off it, isn't it?
As soon as they pass, then you go on it, man. But I remember I put him out, and I remember at the time, Coach had this massive beard and a shaved head.
Man.
And I remember him like shouting, because I like, do you know when they try and pass and you sort of like roll with it, so I can't see their head anymore. It's like seizuring, but obviously I can't see that, so I think he's resisting. So you put it on more, like, you get that bit more, like, you know what I mean?
He's dead.
Yeah. Literally, I just remember Coach shouting across the back going, let him go. Like something. I was like, what? Let him go, and he's literally frothing at the mouth, man. Like, honestly, terrified me. But again,
scary.
I remember we were lifting his legs up, because they say now don't do that, don't they? But back then it was like, lift the legs up, plus the blood to the head. And we did that, and he came to, and he was like, woke up, and I never forget the look of confusion, like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah.
And I was like, me and Dave were like, fucking, going, what?
Why are you in my bedroom?
Yeah, he was like, no, he was stood over him in his bedroom, like, fucking crazy, innit?
Who was it that went to sleep during a technique? Do you remember that?
I put someone out.
Yeah.
So I was. What,
Wasn't that
16?
Steve as well?
No. It was a big firefighter dude. I won't say his name.
Yeah.
But he.
Steve.
But I was teaching a technique. I think I was 16 and I just started teaching the adults class. And back then there was kind of a thing when you taught where it's like, for some reason you always taught on the highest belt. Like now, I'll be honest.
I still do it by default sometimes.
But I'll teach, now I teach on people who I feel comfortable teaching on, because it's like,
you need the right reactions.
Well, not just that, but like sometimes people would be like, for some reason people are like, no, not just stiffen up, like back. He didn't stiffen up, he was more like, his exact words were this, I was teaching a collar choke, and he turns round to me, shoulder, I'm only going to tap if it's on. I'm 16 and I'm just like, oh, okay. I'm like, okay. And I get, like little Nicky. Yeah. I put the choke on him.
Yeah.
I put the choke on him and I'm holding it and I'm like, fucking hell, he's not out. Leah was in the class and she goes, Callum, he's out. And this
I think I was in this fight.
Yeah, he's like 6'5". Like
What's
that.
that?
Bro,
Yeah.
he wakes up, walks out the gym. And I was just saying, I was like, well, you just told me you're not going to tap unless it's on. I was like, you didn't tap. You've let yourself go out.
Maybe you just a fire.
You hear that fire alarm.
Oh man.
But after that, that's when I stopped teaching on higher, like the highest level. I always was like
ego, man. Like sometimes you'll like. I'm very much like what you said. I won't teach on people that are mega heavy either.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you're teaching stuff, it's not like rolling, is
There's
it?
no motion behind the technique. It's static, so it's different.
Yeah, and they sometimes don't move quite how you want them to move, and that's the point in using a higher belt, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they will know how to move. But then sometimes you'll get people that dead sailor and stuff, and you'll be doing it, and they'll be like, "Fucking, you ain't gonna do that." And you're like, what would you normally do?
They just go flop on you all the
or just really let you have it. You know?
I've had it the other dude, man. I remember when I was teaching in some shitty little back alley fucking place over in Brown Hills, man.
Terrifying.
Yeah. It was my thing. Call it what I want, alright? He was pretty shitty. But I remember I was teaching fucking on some turned out to be quite a bad person. He got blacklisted.
He was a very bad man.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. It turned out like he hadn't gone to prison for what he said he had. Some things are not allowed, man. If you go, I went to prison because I battered someone, they'll be like, nah, you scam, pack it in, you know what I mean? But there are some things that you don't allow, and obviously you did those things. And don't want to teach them how to hold people down. No. But fucking, not ideal, is it? So as soon as we found out, obviously he was gone.
This wasn't
but he was a
Conor McGregor, was it?
fucking But when you'd be teaching and he'd turn it into a spar, he'd start sparring with you, like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, well, that's what I do, and I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
We've got like day oneers in here, bro. I'm trying to teach basic technique.
This is the same guy who would spar and then give up as soon as an ounce of pressure.
Oh man, he would spar until he went against him, and then he'd tap. Bronchitis or some bollocks excuse. He was like,
he turned up here, and I think it was Bert told me, and you'd had an issue, and then he told me, and I was just like, I literally messaged every gym in the local area, and I think that's something that gets missed a little bit because, like, everyone thinks that because we're this gym, we can't talk to other gyms. If I have a dickhead here, I will let Ash, Canuck know and Reese know and just say, look, I've had this person in. You don't want this person in your gym. This guy's done this guy's done that. Yeah. Just, you know, I mean, some
end of the day, when you're training with people, it's trust in it.
Yeah.
You got to put a lot of trust in someone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're putting your bodies on the line, aren't you, really, when you're doing this kind of stuff?
But also, man, the number one thing, the vibe of the place. If you've got some absolute sausage that's coming in with a massive ego.
The absolute sausage, lad.
I've got to say, bro, you create with your gym and that.
Johnny
Our gym. But like the gaffer though. Like,
Gret's the gaffer.
Yeah, she is, to be honest. Fucking hell, man. I've got told off a few times.
I'm just the doctor.
But like, that's what I think. What everybody picks fun at the most, though, man, is how good the vibe is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It does seem that way, doesn't it?
And I think that comes from because we had it before, and then it went. Like, you know what I mean? And personally, I bounced around a few places. Nothing wrong with the venues, man. Nothing wrong at all, man. It's just I felt I didn't fit in there.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's,
you've got to find some.
And that,
I don't think you can force yourself.
The coaches, great, no problem with any of them, man.
Yeah.
But it was just like I felt like I didn't meld. Well, I can't think of the word, man. But you know what I mean? The team there, I didn't feel like I fit in.
Mould into it.
Yeah. Whereas here, I felt like fucking day one, mate.
I loved it.
Through the door,
when
man,
you
like,
come, honestly, it was like the full circle because
it's when you dropped a certain brand, bro.
Yeah.
I
was loyal to the Shield. I won't talk about that too much, but obviously
you was though, mate.
Yeah, and like I was loyal to it to the point that I opened a school under them, and then when they brought out the whole franchise thing, it literally would have killed us.
I can't.
It would have ruined our gym.
Sign those, to be honest. Like
I was surprised when a few like local ones, like, and I think I understand loyalty to your professor and to think it.
But have they been loyal to you with that contract?
Exactly.
But
you've got to be loyal to what your dreams are more than anything. But if your dreams are this, which this was ours, we wanted to do something. Like we're into, you know, Manifest. It's like I know it sounds a bit woo-wop or woo-woo, whatever it is. but like the book The Secret, like I believe in, like I want to get this, so I'm going to believe that I've already got it, and I'm going to work until I get it.
I'm not going to lie, has it not manifested?
So when I
That's what that means.
So when I had the opportunity to do something like this, it probably would have been the only opportunity ever to start my own brand, and like it was a massive risk, like. And financially, it probably hasn't paid off, if I'm completely honest. Like,
No.
to talk about money.
Do you know what though? Because you try and keep yourself fair with everything, you merch, everything you do, bro, it's so reasonable.
We do our own merch,
so
we can do cheaper.
But like, you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? You're not like fucking, membership, if you don't buy these socks though, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, you're off uniform, you don't force it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
the only uniform thing we ask for is white, blue or black gis.
Yeah.
Other than that, you can buy your own gis, you can buy our gis. We like have a discount with different brands, and we give the discount over.
Yeah.
Like for me, we earn off the subscription. We earn off the
they're not
membership.
expensive because I own one of them. You know what I mean? Like, I think when I repped the Shield, bro, I owned one gi, and I used to serve that bitch up because they wanted like 100.
You used to get for a pair of pants.
I used to fucking 4 pairs of gi pants in about 3 months.
The Peter Pants Chronicles.
Yeah.
Bro, the Peter Pants Chronicles. Literally, he would like do half a double leg, and it would split the seam.
I've got like 2 occasions when I've been rolling with yourself. That's been everything.
In the end, you had to put those A4s on.
Yeah, man. They started making them stylish, didn't they, man?
Yeah.
Like, and I've got thick legs.
Well, the
man.
problem's all right for him. He always looked really cool.
Yeah.
Oily pants.
No, let's just talk about this though. Do you remember when the problem was all the GB gis were made by Storm, and who did they model that body type off of? Braulio was Braulio was like the skinniest, tall shoulder, and the lapels were like down to your fucking bollocks. So it was like,
They were.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like no offense,
Sparring the curve.
the gi didn't look that cool. That made it even worse for me. It was like you walk, like you fucking someone would go like, you look like a dork, and it's like, I think it looks a little bit cool. As soon as it went past the knees, I was like, now I do look like an asshole.
Like a judo gi, isn't it?
Yeah. But even judo, I like a judo. Like Phil used to.
They
wear
didn't change
judo.
those, did
Yeah,
they?
he pulled it off.
Yeah.
He used to wear these like sleeves.
Oh,
there.
fucking,
He
he still wears that gi though. He still wears it, man. That's
That's a testament to the material.
What brand's that? Is that like a 100-year-old
Is
thing?
that like Makia or is it whatever? I don't know.
Mizuno
Makia.
Oh,
Milwaukee?
Mizuno, isn't it?
Mizuno, yeah.
I tell you what, one of the last times I rolled with Phil, wrestling, no gi, just fucking throws a scissor takedown at me. But like he threw a scissor takedown at me, but I was still stood after he did it, and there was a moment where I was just like, is my leg broke? I just looked down, and it wasn't.
Old school judo, man. I used to love it when he'd try and armbar me, and I'd be there like that, and like fucking, he'd just be kneeling in your face, man, driving his knee in your face, laughing at you. Fucking, but now though, because of that, I'll say this, man, I'll sit there comfortably, like, I feel the arm now.
Yeah.
As soon as you take the arm, I'm coming back up, guaranteed. Like,
You learn a lot from them rolls as well.
Yeah, that's what I
like,
mean. I learned
so much Gordon smashing you through a wall.
Yeah, man. You look double legged me now, boys.
I think the thing is though, I think a little bit with the more technical, like, don't get me wrong, obviously there's been a lot of technical evolution in Jiu-Jitsu, but I think sometimes when you miss those kind of hard grueling sessions where people do shit like that to you,
Less technical, more. I think it was just more aggressive, man. Like,
well, not even aggressive, but it was just like, okay, you're not going to give me your arm. Deal with this knee in your face.
Put a shin on your face.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it was like, you either give them the arm or you live with a fucking shin on your face. It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
do you know what though as well? Like, obviously, because I came from the MMA, I was used to, if I was on the bottom, I'm used to getting punched in the face. So it was a lovely change when you come over and you've got someone putting their shin on your face. Like,
mate,
I'd be used to getting punched here.
But that's what I found was the difference with MMA grapplers to your purists, like, because they're tough as fuck, man. I mean, some of the guys I've rolled with from Wolves especially, man, fucking animals, man.
Yeah, big up Wolves.
Yeah, massive fucking team there, man. Very good, all of them. I remember that moment driving home with the music off, man.
I remember you texting me and saying I didn't have a good session. And Lewis said the same.
Yeah, I was like, that was brutal.
You're in there, Jim, as well.
Yeah.
Was that the session? Did I
you headbutted. Let's talk about that. So I've set up this little sparring sessions when Cal was thinking about MMA. I don't think you fought by then, had you?
No, I don't.
And there's a guy there called Mikey who I've known him since he was a little.
I love you. I got love for you.
He's like, well, he fights at 170. He's probably about 185, and he's built like Lesnar.
He's fucking tough.
He's
terrifying.
He looks like. Do you remember Datsik? Remember that guy? Is that a really old reference? Guy. Look up Datsik.
I don't know names, so I probably do.
So he's like this hench geezer. Well, anyway, I'm like setting it up so I'm getting Callum and Mikey to have a grapple. Fuck, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
It's like the mega powers collide. Hogan and freaking Ultimate. So they have this match and they end the match and they're like stand up and it's like a respecting face to face like, and you think, oh, they've had a good match. And then Callum just went, no.
Hold on. It wasn't a respect thing.
It was.
Oh no,
he was because you got from the MMA world.
No,
he didn't.
No, but for me, all I remember is we grappled up against a wall. He was in my face still afterwards, and for me it was like, I'm from Tamworth. Drop
the nut, bro. And me and Dan are watching. It's like me and Dan are like the puppet masters. And Dan's Mikey's coach, and like obviously I've brought Cal over. And we watched it in the headbutt, and me and Dan were like, whoa. We're going to stop him.
Let's just be 100% honest though. I got the nut in, but if it went to striking after that, I would have been
Mikey would have all 5 of us that went there, Mikey would have killed all of us.
Yeah, Mikey would have killed us. The only thing I would have managed was a garble.
Do you know what's beautiful though? Literally 30 seconds later, we're all sat in a circle. You chatting and being friendly.
No, but you know what's even nicer? Mikey will come over and train here.
Yeah,
and like,
I'm always sick those days. Yeah.
I see him walk through
oh shit!
Genuinely though, the thing that I really respect about MMA guys is like their no-nonsense approach to grappling. Yeah. Like there's no kind of like fluff to it. Like the amount of times like I'll roll with like a high-level jiu-jitsu guy, and sometimes they go through like 17 steps to do something.
Yeah.
And it's like I'll be rolling with like Lewis, Mikey and stuff, and it's like I'll take them down, and it's like I'm gonna get up now.
Yeah.
And I've learned so much from them, and it's helped. Training with them has helped me become a better grappler, because you train with them, you go, well, fucking hell, like they're just getting. Yeah. If they can just get up, I'll get up.
It's because of the consequences of staying down.
Yeah.
If you get took down in jiu-jitsu, you play your card. Happy days, I play from now. If you get took down in MMA, you get punched in the head.
Yeah.
But
you found out.
That's another thing. I never got took down in my MMA. My first fight I won in like 40 seconds with a guillotine.
Yeah.
That was like
Johnny Smash.
Yeah, it was just a cheap guillotine. Class. And I remember the relief when that one. And then my second fight, I went in and had a really bad migraine all day, and I got someone said to me, "You're gonna go out?" I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna full cause I'm full training camp." And I used to cut from. You won't even look at me now, but I used to cut from 95 kilo to 77 kilo. And I used to do the last 4 or 5 kilos.
You send a sticker every now and then to
Yeah, I've got a sticker on my and my second one, I remember the guy, and he was, I don't look now, but I looked at his Facebook, and he did marathons. And I remember thinking, fuck, he's going to have cardio, he's going to have... And he landed an overhand right in the first round. I've still got the scar on my eyebrow, overhand right, and it clipped me on this side of my head instead of this. And then he did a spinning back fist and he split my eye. And I remember going back to the corner after that I lost that first round. And I went to the corner and the doctor came in. And I was going to the doctor, it's too bad to carry, I was shitting it. Just stop the fight. I don't want to do this shit anymore. He's like, I was going, is it bad? He's going, no, you'll be alright. And Harvey Harrah was the ref. And he's going, you'll be alright, Johnny, you'll be alright. I was like, it's fucking too bad. This is I don't want to fucking go. I'm fucking panicking. I'm panicking now. I'm going to lose my job. But then I went out and I won the next 2, which was good. Got fight of the night, that did.
Yeah, mate.
Because I got battered in the first round, man.
It's that underdog come back in it, man. The Rocky Balboa.
That's it, man. A little bit of grappling in that one.
Bro, I wouldn't do it again.
I would never do it.
I've never done it.
I'll never do it. Like, it's just the
You tried
amount.
to talk me into doing the MMA experience not long ago, and I'd be like,
yeah. I needed so I'll get a ticket deal.
You know what I love? You get to the cage, it's that guy who you fought in K1.
oh, not again.
Oi, Pete. How many days a week you doing that?
Just John. You'd be saying that?
I'm just in the corner going, just punch him.
Put your shit across, Pete.
But they are good. Like you mentioned the MMA experience, to big up Dan again.
Yeah, man.
Not
That's
that it's
a
all
great
about
show,
that. He's got such a good show there.
Yeah,
He
really
does
good.
amazing with it. Like
Got some good
the next
athletes
one,
there
we
as
should
well,
go to that.
I'm
March
up for it.
22nd, I think. No, March 16th. 22nd is the UFC,
Yeah.
isn't it? But yeah, good, really good show, man. I enjoyed getting involved. It was just a bit too much with the coaching. Like I was doing this,
spinning so many places.
yeah, doing the
But the
electric
thing is-
and then trying to do
But
that.
then you
really
do like the 2 classes on the night here, or like however many,
right.
and then it would be like
I say you more than 2.
then the MMA straight after, and you're like,
Yeah.
fucking hell, like
Yeah.
it's a lot mentally on you as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, it was on the night, wasn't it? It was the 2 classes on
Yes,
the night.
I do.
And then the MMA was straight
I do
after,
the
wasn't
no
it?
gi,
Like,
the gi, and then no the gi, the no gi, then the MMA.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
like obviously, no disrespect to anyone who comes to the MMA, but they're basically. You know what I'm trying to say. They ain't got a clue.
Yeah,
They ain't got a clue.
They're very fresh, aren't they?
Yeah,
Like,
and I'm trying to teach them how to fight in 8 weeks or whatever.
That's got to be such a tough challenge.
Oh,
isn't it?
mate.
Trying to teach somebody enough to.
And you just trying to keep it basic.
Yeah, knowing that they're going to get in the pants, get in the cage, and swing it out with some other dude, and you get some sandbaggers in there that
Oh,
are like,
mate.
oh no, I've not done much, boxed for 10 years, but I ain't
Yeah.
done much, like, you know what I mean? Like, and then you got this guy that's literally just watched MMA, and
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, I think I'll be alright at this, I've got a few
Right.
scraps in time.
I've spoken to a few people though who like not the MMA experience, but like some of the other shows. And I've spoken to people who've trained for like 2 years. Like, oh, I'm thinking of doing that. Whatever. It is.
Yeah,
Like,
white
you know,
collar.
yeah, white collar. And I'm
Yeah.
there. I'm like, you've been training for 2 years.
Yeah.
You're fighting at, like I've seen there was one ages ago, like in the Midlands, and it was like a dude who'd like literally come off the couch. It was literally like advertised from the couch to the cage, and some dude who's
From the couch to KO.
from the couch to that's pretty much what happened to the guy. He just got overhand right and knocked the fuck out. And
What
you
did you
just
get?
say,
CTE?
Yeah. It's not like you do it as a professional.
From the couch to the crematorium. But to be fair, Dan does have some sort of training,
I was about
but
to
he
say,
matches
yeah,
up.
yeah,
He's got
yeah.
titles on it and that now.
Yeah,
It's
man, I've noticed there's
the
some
one he did the
guys.
other month, he had a lad called Brad, and he came out to Stone Cold music and that. And he like, this guy won his match, and he was like had the beers and so then he had a fight with him, and it was like all proper like hyped up and that. But it was good, just fun in it. It's like,
Yeah, this is it, man. Like,
Yeah,
but he's putting on a good show. You know what I
Mate,
mean? Like,
the show, I'm telling you now, is you go to it's like a mini UFC.
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
sounds ridiculous, that does.
I think that's so good though, to give like the athletes
Give
that.
him, man. I'd have
Like,
loved it in my
you know
day.
what I mean? Like to feel like you're actually on
Yeah.
a big show, not
Well,
just
you
in
made
some
that.
fucking like working men's club with
Yeah.
a shitty put together
Just
ring
loads
or
of
whatever.
people smoking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It has come a long way, hasn't it, really?
Oh, mate,
Like,
yeah.
But I think it's nice as well when you've got people who maybe want to have an MMA fight but don't have the time to
Yeah.
commit to.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like at least it gives people like a
Got
sense
a
of purpose
fucking
and
bulldog
stuff
with
to
a
do.
missus
Yeah.
at home, your kids
Yeah.
don't respect you, your co-workers treat you like a piece of shit, you
Yeah.
just want to fucking hurt someone like that, you know what I mean? And now you're getting an excuse to do it,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it's legal, so, you know.
I mean, like when we did a couple here, and it's like a load of the lads are like, and girls that did it, yeah, I'm going to sign up, and they never sign up.
Yeah.
Because it's hard, like, obviously this is hard, Jiu-Jitsu's hard.
is hard enough,
MMA
right?
is ridiculously hard.
Yeah.
But do you know, one thing I was going to say about that is that you don't realise, you know, back in the day we did the self-defence.
Yeah,
races
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. You know, I mean, none of us want to
don't get you in an
headlock.
headlock.
Exactly, that's exactly what I'm going to go into.
Yeah.
So they would always do like headlock defence, and I remember I taught one here in Java, Professor Java was going to me, he's going, you're going to teach that, it's fucking shit that. And I was like, look, it's on the curriculum, I was proper by the book. When we went to the MMA experience, I'm not joking, out of, I think it was like 30 fights, I would say 25 of them had a headlock in it.
Did they? I suppose in the amateur,
25.
it's organic,
Because they're
isn't it?
like,
Grab the
I
head.
just don't want to fight anymore,
Go
and they
grab
grab a
the head.
headlock and they just hold it.
I always thought that was good for kids though, I won't lie,
Yeah,
because that's
yeah.
common in,
You know what's
in
that-
kids classes now.
You know what's actually funny though? A lot of the stuff in the self-defense, like don't get me wrong, a lot of it is a bit like fucking weird.
You feel silly teaching
It
it.
feels silly teaching it, but there's a lot of fundamental movements that I think kind of just get skipped out. Like you know, remember the basic.
not
Do you
supposed
remember the
to.
basic headlock one where you like step behind and pick up their knees and throw
Yeah,
them? I do that without the headlock, but sometimes someone will have me in a body lock. I'll just
You
step behind
step
them and
behind
throw them over,
Yeah.
and I'm there and I'm like.
It actually
That's
was.
fundamentals.
Cheese Master Carlos.
Bro.
Oh, you can't do that. I went to the Elon Musk one.
What we'll do is we'll just blow around.
Just a Zeg Howl.
Everything Carlos was guilty. That's it.
Nah, but like, yeah, like, and I think another thing that gets missed a lot, like the other day I did my fundamentals class, and I did shrimping or snakes or
I think they're important.
And I tell you what, like a lot of people say, oh, shrimping's, I think Ryan Hall said it, and he's like, it's bullshit. How often do you actually shrimp? You do shrimp quite a lot.
The time, bro. Like,
I think, like, don't get me wrong, I don't want to piss anyone off saying this because obviously it works for some people, but people talk about like the ecological, all this kind of stuff. I think the problem is a lot of the people who talk about the ecological stuff forget that they were probably taught in a fundamental, because I was shrimping,
it's better than that. It is. I think it's good when you get to a level, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's what I said.
But when you're a day one starter, like I was teaching one of the women the other day, man, like the back step and stuff like that. Like, and I was saying, you can do this at home on your own, man. Like solo drills, man. So you get the muscle memory to do it. So it's, you know, the old school saying drillers make killers. Now, like, nah, you don't need to drill. You just need to roll. And it's like that's cool, man. But you started out drilling.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
to be fair, like, it's obviously most of my training now is teaching, like researching, watching stuff and looking at how I can do stuff and then creating a class out of it.
It's hybrid, isn't it? It's not like pure one or pure the other. It's a combination.
It has to be that, I think. And like, it's all called ecological jiu-jitsu, but it's specifics, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
It's just specific.
That's what I thought when I saw it. I was like,
it's not saying wrong. I think
but
it's
then
cool.
jiu-jitsu's done it the whole time, man. How many times have names of techniques changed?
Well, not just that, but
I
how many fads?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like let's see this next wave of people come through with pure ecological and stuff like
we'll
that.
see that.
But
And I don't want to go. I do see some success with it, but again, the guys I'm seeing success with it didn't start out doing that.
No,
you know what I mean? Like the guys who are really good and they're doing it now. I'm like, that's great. They didn't start out.
But again, it's
I'm curious.
But again, people learn differently. Horses for courses.
Yeah.
Like for me, I really struggle doing the ecological stuff sometimes because it'd be like, all right, we're going to start in this really obscure position, go from there, fight. Like Chiro's teaching the class on the Thursday at Grindhouse now, and like he was going through some leg lock stuff with me, and I was like, can we rewind and go back to that first initial entry? Broke it down for me, explained it, and then I was able to hit it. And I was like, look, before we go full positionals and sparring, let me play with this.
And then tell it to drill it, and then use it, and then which goes very much into the old school style, though, isn't it? Because in classes you did a little warm up, and I can appreciate you don't need to do the full. As an old boy, I'm not going to lie, maybe I should just get here a bit earlier and stretch. You know what I mean? Like I need to stretch. Because I find if I just get straight into positionals, like something pops on me. Like, you know what I mean? Like
getting old, mate.
Yeah, basically, man. Need to get on the old tram.
Oh, trends.
Anyway.
Where are you going, John?
But yeah, it's a funny. I seen a comment today because obviously a local gym's got Greg Souders, who's the gaffer of this ecological, and Chris Thompson, the guy that owns Grapple Fest. Funny fucker he is. He really, how are you going to do a seminar when they're just telling you to just crack on with it? Basically, to an extent, like if you're doing a seminar and they just go right, get into, because he describes it very different to how I would describe it. Like I would say, get in between the legs. That's called the close guard, but he doesn't name what it's called. Which is like, I find that a bit weird. It's cool.
See, I'm not going to lie, sometimes like there's certain positions where I'll be like, obviously you've got close guard classics and stuff, but sometimes I think you can make it really overcomplicated.
100%.
Like, especially when people coming out with crazy fucking Japanese names. The amount of times I'll just, someone will go, what's this called? And I'm like, you just grab his arms, you know what I mean? Like,
or when they're like grabbing a part of the body and they've got to know the biological.
oh fucking
I'm like, why did you?
Just grab the arm.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, just grab it, just thumbs up, grab the arm.
That's the sort of thing I do. It's like thumbs up, palm to the sky.
Yeah.
Knuckles
thumbs up, thumbs down. You know what I mean?
I've got all finger grips.
I think
fingers in.
I think it's good for marketing because it makes it sound.
It's like,
it's
what, bitch?
It's good for marketing because it sounds mysterious, and obviously, if you're new to the sport, you're like, oh wow,
we got Mongols like these like the gym, bro. It's just like grab the clavicle. I'm like, what's that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. If you say grab his shoulder, like, yeah, sound lad. You know what I mean? Like, fucking.
Yeah.
Just keep it lattice extremis.
Oh, bro, if people start talking to me in another language about jiu-jitsu, I'm like unless they're Brazilian and they're teaching a class, you know what I mean? But like, if they start going, they're saying they're going to kill you. But if like someone starts hitting me, as soon as someone hits me with a Japanese term, I'm already switched off. It's like, look, what the fuck is it?
Do you think that's because we're thick?
I was going to say, it's probably because we're not that cultured.
What are you saying, lad?
We could just be doing this and everyone's watching it going, oh my god, these guys are idiots.
No, but the thing is, like, like a lot of the people I teach, like especially private tuition, tend to be beginners. Like I've got a few people who are like higher belts and stuff. More often than not, the beginners, and I chat to them. They're like, sometimes they're like, they just want it simple. They want to understand. Like at the end of the day, like, I mean, if you
good job with you, innit, Chad?
I always preface it beforehand. It's like, look, mate, I'm a simple man. It's like I'm a very simple. Yeah, I feel like sometimes with instructors and coaches as well, it's more for them than it is.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I mean? Like, so, like for me, it's like I'm not looking to impress people. I just want them to walk away and go, oh, I've learned something there.
Yeah, even if it's something little, innit?
Yeah, even if it's something
I don't
little.
think when I teach a class like they're going to walk away with the
oh
whole
my God.
class that I've taught them, all the technique. I always say, man, just
Even if
focus
you
on the
take
little
1%.
bits, man. Like, you know what I mean? If it was me, I'd look on the positional controlling aspects and the, you know, the submissions. Because without the positional control, you ain't getting the submission, are you? I mean, watch Choke. You see that guy, he won't see you. But you know what I mean? Like proof of the pudding with that, isn't it? But yeah, man. Like, I suppose everybody's got.
It's like when sometimes, like as a warm up, I'll say, right, I have 3 minutes, do whatever technique. Now I've started saying, say if we're doing De La Riva guard that week, I'll say any De La Riva entry, any De La Riva sweep or submission, you just work on that. But what I'll find is, I'll say like, do whatever you want for 3 minutes. And some of the stuff that I see, and they'll be going, Professor, how do I do this? I saw this, and it's some like mega intricate detailed thing, and I'm like, mate, learn to pass everything, you know.
Yeah, just start.
Learn your short steps, your long steps, your knee cuts. Just drill it.
Yeah,
just drill it. I know it's not the coolest shit, but I tell
I
you
always
what,
say
you'll
that
get so
the
much
boring
more
stuff
out of
is
it.
what gets you good, man.
Hodger Gracie, man.
Yeah.
Like,
look at that, he plays a fundamental game
from
still.
Gracie.
Yeah.
They don't use anything other than like. You say fundamental, I'd never call either of them fundamental, but
They're
they
not,
do it
but like,
amazingly perfect.
But they're doing like what we teach as a fundamental technique, but at a high level.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
when you say perfect, perfection in it, that's where you could go in it. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, like
fucking-
when we had Mauricio over, like the stuff he.
That's good, man. I wasn't that great, I was in Italy. But oh, this is terrible.
But like the stuff he taught, you could say like, oh, I've seen that, it's a bread cutter. It then, when he teaches it, I'm telling you, it's a different.
It's those
thing.
little minute details, though, isn't it?
Well, it was there, Jim.
Yeah.
Good man, it's different. It's like, and when he puts that pressure on you,
No, man.
and Jake,
That's a rearrange, man.
trying to take your glasses on and play your glasses, man. That's a prerequisite?
It'd be fine.
It's not breaking
Here's
character.
a £1.50 for my mum.
No, but Pete, your eyes are expensive.
So what he does, I mean, he locks it in as a short arm darce. It's just a darce. It's exactly the same thing, except you go in short arm basically.
Yeah.
So what he's doing, he's coming to here and actually starts working it from there. You feel that straight away.
Yeah, straight away.
Literally, just from that short arm.
Yeah.
But what I would do is either bolt cut grip or whichever.
I really like
I like that grip, it's quite
Yeah,
strong.
one.
From here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go behind the head and I'm going to start putting pressure down on the back of your neck. And I'm going to flare my right elbow out, hoping that you don't base out. If you base out, you've got to change the thingy. Boom, we come to here too, okay? From here, your standard darce, you'd cup the back of the head, or you'd cup it with your left, and you'd throw that as far through, wouldn't you? And bring your thumb to yourself. You grab your own bicep and look to reach here, and then you start sprawling out. What he was doing, or what he does, he grabs
Do you want to turn a little bit that way, bro?
and this way. So, I say rather than the standard darce where we come into here, he's grabbing that here, and then he's reaching. Do you feel like that starts coming on? Yeah. He's not even reaching high, but from here, I was saying bagpipe, so left elbow starts tucking into my chest.
Do Did your neck clip there?
Shit!
So like,
As soon as you did the old bagpipe there,
so it's there.
fuck me.
What I try and get used to doing is when you grab that hand, you're grabbing it sort of like palm to the sky, and then when you turn it, it seems to put more pressure on.
Yeah, it does massively.
And then that bagpipe.
Can I feel that?
Yeah.
Can I have a go?
No, I'm not sure why I want to be
Again,
doing
bolt cut grip if you want to. That's just that. So here, if you like that grip, put pressure down, turn him over. Yeah.
Fucking hell, can't
I'm not even. I can smell it.
Bro, you might see my balls at the back.
So I'm here, look, I'm grabbing my wrist, but I haven't got that one turned the way that I want it yet. So when I start putting it on, it starts putting pressure on, and then from there, I just bagpipe. Super tight, innit?
Yeah, man, I do feel that. Like I say, as soon as the old bagpipe comes in, man,
Yeah.
it's like, whoa!
But like, obviously, from there you can go Japanese.
Yeah.
And I think on that one the other night, he covered it with his chest and then came in. So it was slightly more like a Japanese, but that's the one bars he taught me all them years ago, like 20 years ago.
It's still there though, isn't it, man?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I'm going to say. Like, whenever you teach something, I always big them up.
Yeah, mate, that's
Always
the
big them up,
pay
man.
forward,
Stuff
man.
I've taught, loads of.
I always say, man, like fucking
toning.
Yeah. Oh, this is, none of it's mine. It's all passed on as
No,
well.
but it always makes me laugh when people are like, I invented this. It's like, motherfucker,
Don't think there's many things that
some
we
guy in
invent.
Japan came up with like a very rudimentary version of this. Like, this is all just recycled and refined. Like, nothing's truly original.
The weird question is though, you feeling ready, John?
More than ready.
It's, you got an outlet pair of you, man.
Yeah, me and you can.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, when I'm rolling with you sometimes at the
That
gym,
has
I
submission
can
grappling.
just feel you exploding.
Hey!
Yeah,
I just saw you exploding. It's always wearing swim shorts.
Bro, the netting helps.
There ain't no netting calendar.
The S has perished. Yeah, man, I haven't competed, because obviously I've had the gym, so I haven't been able to get out.
The last time you competed, you had a broken foot, didn't you?
I had a broken toe on my right foot, and then I've obviously got, I don't know where I can put it out, I've got arthritis in my toes. So that's from the MMA, like, but at the minute, I've been working with a chiro, and they feel tremendous.
Yeah.
I can bend my toe. You've known me a long time.
You've always
I've
used
never
to
been
take
able
your
to
feet
do
to
that.
life, man. I know you don't take
Sorry,
your feet,
can we just get you to do that again, but like in a cake or something like that?
Yeah. OnlyFans coming soon.
That's for the Patreon.
Do you know, I'm not even
joking.
I'm not even joking. I typed in on Reddit, is there a fetish for bunions? Because I've got a right bunion on.
Mine's coming on.
I'd sell the feet pics, man.
Yours is fucking massive close to mine.
That's what they all say.
Yeah, if you do, you've got to put a black belt on your bunion.
But in terms of Dr. Toe, but in terms of the fight match, yeah, man, I can't wait. I've wanted to get back out for ages. I was meant to fight on. I keep saying fight. It's not a fight, it's a match. But I was going to fight a guy called Cy Price, and I really wanted that match. He's a cool guy from over Black Country.
Yeah.
And like everyone was raving about. He's got like a good kesel and all that. Yeah, it'd be good. And
we need to sort it outside, man. You've never watched this podcast, you probably never will, but if you do, lad, let's get it on.
I don't know. I do think this will be my last little outing. I think I'll do gi after. I think I'd quite like to go into the Euros this year, the Master Euros.
Yeah, you're breaking my heart, Johnny.
We need to get you back in the fucking gi.
Yeah.
But are you feeling ready?
Who, me? Bro,
yeah, man.
Valhalla needs to stop feeding me really mean looking people.
I know, yeah, man. That dude looked like he was about to like fucking hate half his face,
that dude looked like
fucking Scotland.
I was gonna say, like, he's got like Braveheart vibes. Like, I felt like
the crazy stare, man.
No, but this is the thing, and then you got me.
Oh yeah, I know you. Right?
The problem,
he does.
Well, the problem.
I wouldn't want to fight him.
The problem is I don't know what it is about my face, but like I do.
They always look like really tough, and you're always just like,
Gomes. I'm there, and it's like fucking my brain cells are fighting for like control. No, but the problem is, like Valhalla. I've literally messaged Valhalla. I was like, can you get me someone who's less mean looking? I was like, because every time you got me, like, Oh, very good. And then it's like, you've killed my family. And I'm like, what?
Is that John Wick?
Yeah. But no, he looks like a very good guy.
I reckon it'd be an amazing match.
Yeah.
As long as it's
Oh, Scotland, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, that alone.
Yeah.
You know you're going to get a scrap.
You're already. He's Scottish.
Yeah.
It'd be Iron Brew as it's called.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks
looks
a bit
really
like Lee, doesn't he? The Viking gear.
Yeah.
Maybe Lee's like Poland.
Don't want that smoke off
bro.
him. Tell you what, that guy, he has some matches, and I tell you what, they're fights. They're not matches. They're like straighteners in a
Bro, the first time I saw him compete, he made me jump a little bit because he armbarred a guy, and he just pops up on the back. He's like, "Fuck yeah!" And I was there, like, Jesus! I was like, "Fuck yeah." To be fair, when me and you were coaching Jack, you told me off for coaching.
Yeah, because you were going, woo!
There's a video of that somewhere. Yeah, Jack, I think Jack in a sweep or a throw, and I was like, woo! Like, not constructive coaching, not like
That's my coaching.
Pass the arm across. I was like, yeah!
Oil.
And we've got mentioned Big Matty as well. He's got a match with someone from like Black Country. Really, it's the best competition gym around our area. I think anyway. Them probably, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
I think we've got some good lads.
Don't you think Matt looks a bit like a white Drewski?
Truthy head.
You know what I mean? If we can get a side by side, I might be completely off on that.
Matt's the most nimble 120 kilo guy
I've
ever seen.
If you've ever seen a panda rolling down a hill, that's what his guard's like. He's just like,
He's
he
like
tumbles around.
The
man,
black
like,
kid on Hook. Remember him?
No.
On Hook, the like bang around.
Yeah.
And he grabs his legs and he can gamble forever. Like a marble. Just coming at him. But, mate, I'm telling you, Matt, if he can get his game going, he could be unstoppable, that kid. He's so good.
He's good.
Good pedigree from like where he trained elsewhere before. When he first come in the gym, I remember rolling with him and thinking, Jesus Christ, do we even want this guy in the gym? Kicking my ass, man.
I remember the first time I rolled with him, it's like no one had like pre-warned me about his mobility.
Crazy.
How heavy is he? Like one?
It's like 100. You know what it's like. If you ask me how heavy I am, I'm going to say 95. I'm like 100.
Always in the glory days.
The different ways of being 95 kilos. Mine's a lie. That's 100 kilos. Actually, 101 and a half.
I was 98 last time I weighed in, I think.
I was 95, mate.
Yeah, right, you're younger. But,
yeah, right, you're younger.
Wow.
Got a beard as well, have you? Yeah, so, but he's good, man.
To be
Yeah,
fair,
I've rolled
we
with
had
him once,
we had some good scraps tonight.
Yeah.
We had a little
yeah,
sparring session.
Yeah, a few rounds early. That's what we were all like. We were sweaty at the start. We dried off now, so we've probably all got staff.
I was about to say.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Everyone in their own hair that's probably going to turn into staff.
We're all going to pull out the fight with stuff.
Cheers, man.
Thanks for the opportunity.
I can't wait though. Like,
You've been excited about this for a while now.
I love competing. I always have done, and I'm one of them. Not that I don't get nervous. I get a little bit, but I'll get more excited than nervous.
Yeah.
Like I really do, and I want you to see it a little bit because sometimes you can get in your own head.
Oh, I get in my own head.
In the
I'll be
world.
honest, I'll be honest, the reason I stopped competing is just because I fucking got burnt out.
Yeah.
Like, just literally.
You did some right competition.
No, but from the age of 11 till about 21, I was competing like once or twice a month. I was like, I went to Abu Dhabi, Zurich, California, like all these places. We just got to a point where I was like, I wasn't competing for myself as much as I was for the team.
Which is why
I was
You were pushing a brand, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was just like, and I was competing when I remember going to some competitions, and I was like I remember the worst one was Abu Dhabi Pro in London. I went there by myself, and I was warming up. I was stone cold, and I was like,
You
I
were
don't.
taking that.
No, that was at IBJ for Euros, and we double guard pull, and he footlocked me, and I was like, I hate the gi. Besides the point, that's besides the point. I fucked up the guy in the first round. The guy in the first round, we've actually got footage of this. I'm not gonna lie, I came out in my little GB gi, and he was a Brazilian covered in advertisements. Yeah, and I was like, nothing is more terrifying than fighting a Brazilian and one who's covered in sponsorships. I swept him from close guard and hit him with an Ezekiel choke. Like,
Proud moment.
it was a proud moment, and then I forgot the cloth. But yeah,
You've got some big wins, and we won't name names, but you've got wins over some of the big names in the UK right now. He has, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We know what we're talking about.
I'll be honest. One of my proudest wins. I don't know if he still trains. He might do. But one of my proudest wins at purple or blue belt. I thought. Do you ever remember a guy called Louis Carrazza? Guy from London.
Louis, you'll never see this.
Louis, you'll never see this. But I remember fighting him at the Abu Dhabi Pro, and he was like one of the first guys to start inverting, doing berimbolos and inversions, and it was literally like a 6-minute round, and I just remember like I won by 2 points or maybe an advantage. It was razor close.
Advantage goes slightly with the gym.
I made sure to thank God afterwards. But I remember beating him, and it was one of my proudest moments because it was just like it wasn't a massive tournament, but I knew how fucking good he was. Like he was like, and I watched him compete against some like.
It's got to be nerve-wracking knowing you go.
Who was the kid?
Do you remember?
Go on. There was that kid who had like really curly hair. And
Reese Duran.
He was good. He was.
Reese Duran.
That was at the time. He was gonna be the fucking man he was.
I don't know why. Well, he beat me at. I think he beat me at 2 tournaments, and then I thought, funnily enough, I think it was no-gi Euros or gi. I think it was no-gi Euros, and we met each other in the final. I had like 3 or 4 fights on the day. I think I choked. I can't remember if I choked him or won on points. Besides the point, I won. But I remember.
I won. That's all that matters.
Yeah, all that matters is I won. But
he beat you a couple of times.
He beat me a couple of times.
A bit of
a rivalry.
Yeah.
But I remember meeting him in the no-gi Euros, and I'd won 3 fights in a row, and I think it was all by like submission and stuff like that. I can't remember. But I remember coming up. I remember seeing him and being like, "Fuck, I've got to fight him in the final."
Yeah.
And it was the most terrifying experience of my life, like, because it was just like don't get me wrong, like
you carried a lot of weight on your shoulders as well back then.
There was a lot of pressure. I carried a lot of unnecessary pressure, but obviously when I was that young, like it meant a lot more to me. But for me, it was just like technically someone on paper who should have beat me. And that day, I don't know what it was, I just outclassed him. Not to sound a cunt, obviously that was a blue belt.
Dog has its day.
That was a blue belt.
Yeah.
Well, hang on, like you did to me earlier.
No, but like there has been a few wins over the years where it was just like...
There's been some amazing wins and matches.
And
you've always took them. You've always gone for it, like, win or lose, man. And that's what you want. Yeah. Like that's your legacy.
But this is the thing now for me. It's like I think the problem was when I was brought up, it was all about you have to be the world champion, you have to be this and have to be that. And the problem with that is you become more focused on winning than you are the actual performance. And it's like I look back at it now, and some of my best performances have actually been in the fights I've lost. As weird as that sounds. And then some of the fights where I've won, I've looked back and I've gone, that was shit.
John said it best about you, mate. You're best when you play for. Like, John hit the nail on the head with that. Like, it's probably the best bit of coaching advice you probably ever get, bro, is don't take it too seriously. As soon as you keep it jovial and playful, man, that's your best.
I think the crazy thing for me is though, it's like I'm at a point now where it's like I've been training since I was like 11. I'm 26 now, but I'm kind of rediscovering competition. Because it's especially with this new team mindset, the new era kind of thing, and I'm actually like
I'm the bad guy now. I'm gonna come out on a Harley for
Chris Benoit theme tune. It makes me laugh because I won't say where, but where I work, when we have like the music on, sometimes someone will put the Chris Benoit theme tune. Someone will put Chris Benoit theme tune, and then like all the upper management's like, no, stop it. Fucking
guy kills his family one time.
You know what? What's crazy though? That's probably the realest fight he's ever had.
He landed a flying headbutt. That's how we finished Imagine that. Imagine, listen to this, man. Imagine you're having a scrap with someone and you get like knocked out, you're like, fucking hell, and then you see him, he's on there, he's diving in. He headbutts you up and feel like that'd be the most scary thing ever.
Who, Chris Benoit?
Well, just anyone. Someone just a flying headbutt off a bar.
You just don't need to get up, you just look up, you just see his arms out.
Took a few things, and you go, oh god. You turn around and he's up here like
in the chip shop or something, he's on the counter. Fucking hell, lads.
Jeff Hardy.
It does make me laugh though when it's like, I don't understand why he killed his family, and then you just cut to them being hit with chairs over there. Why? How on earth do they have neurological issues?
No, I don't think you have, buddy. What are all these flat spots on my brain? That'd be fine.
Can anyone else hear screaming?
When that happened, I mean, I don't know if you're putting this in, so I'm going to say something. When this happened, I was on a lad's holiday in Zante. And I was like, it was the morning of, and I was mates with a guy called Millsy at the time, and Millsy goes, fucking hell, John. Chris Benoit's killed his kid. I went, no way, let me see. Like, and everyone was huddled around, and they all huddled around me. They're going, read the article, John. So I was like, Chris Benoit, and I was reading, I was like, Chris Benoit assaulted his wife, killed his wife, like that. And everyone's going, fuck yeah, killed his wife. And then he hit the
He's killed his wife. Fucking hell.
and then he proceeded to strangle his son with a crippler crossface, and everyone's going, fucking crippler crossface. But yeah, the final blow, he climbed on top of the wardrobe and hit the flying headbutt. Everyone's like, eat the flying headbutt.
And on that, ladies and gentlemen,
That's a wrap.
big thank you to Jonny D, King of Burntwood. Fucking. Yeah, man, thanks for coming on, bro. Fucking.
Enjoyed it, man.
Yeah,
Good laugh, man.
We'll definitely do this again.
Yeah, 100%. Enjoyed it, man. It's a good laugh, man.
Like and subscribe.